Nets are a soap opera. They are a train wreck in motion. It seems like whenever you want any type of controversy, the team that plays in the Barclays Center will provide enough of it for you. For the last 2 Octobers, we were sold the bill of goods that they would compete for a world championship. For the last 3 of them, we have been witnessed to a team that wins more front page headlines than playoff series victories. It all started on July 1st, 2019, when many mainstream media outlets proclaimed the Nets as the team that ran New York City. The Knicks outwardly courted Kevin Durant. Knicks fans outwardly chanted for Kyrie Irving the last year he played as a Boston Celtic at Madison Square Garden. They received neither player. It was due to the fact, sources say, that Kyrie got into Durant's ear and implored him to think about setting a new tradition instead of building on top of an already established one. For those who are unaware, the Knicks were a mainstay in the NBA Finals at one time. Between 1970 and 1973, they went to the Finals 3 times. They narrowly missed being the Eastern Conference representative in the NBA 4 consecutive years because they lost in 7 to the then Washington Bullets in 1971. The team that built the championship pedigree on the backs of Walt Frazier, Earl Monroe, Dave DeBusschere, Willis Reed, and Bill Bradley won 2 rings in that stretch. Oh yeah, there was this bench player who later became one of the greatest NBA coaches of all time. Some guy named Phil Jackson. Anyway, other than the Bernard King era, the Knicks longed to have that type of glory again, and received it in the form of Charles Oakley, Derek Harper, John Starks, and Patrick Ewing. In the 1990s, they knocked on the door, only for the Jordan-era Bulls to slam it shut in 1991, 1992, and 1993. They made it to the finals in 1994 and 1999, only to fail each time. Do you want to know how tragic this all is? The Nets went to the finals in 2002 and 2003, yet the team led by Jason Kidd, Kenyon Martin, and Vince Carter was and is largely forgotten for 2 reasons. 1, they were on the west side of the Hudson, or New Jersey, and 2, they were not the Knicks. The Nets were always considered also-rans and afterthoughts to the Knicks, no matter how bad the team that played at MSG or the owner Jim Dolan did. Even when the Knicks were under scandal and controversy, the Nets struggled to get the better of their geographical big brother. They needed a big splash. Enter Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and DeAndre Jordan? Forget about him. The bulk free agent signing was supposed to be a dawn of a new age and a new era. Besides, the Knicks also wanted to have Durant, even coming off an Achilles tear that was going to sideline him until the 2021 season. It did not matter. Both teams were hungry to make the big splash in free agency, and the Nets did. But if I were the Knicks, I'd be thanking my lucky stars that the team whiffed on signing them. Why? Because the amount of drama Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant have orchestrated since their time there is mind-boggling. The 2020 season was decidedly tame compared to the following 2 campaigns. While Durant was rehabbing his Achilles, Kyrie messed up his right shoulder as the season got to the All-Star break point. He missed the rest of that year. With the NBA season being delayed to start due to the previous one ending in October of 2020, the Nets were optimistic. They were geared up for a returning Durant and a healthy Kyrie. Then rumors started to swirl that the Nets were looking to trade for Houston Rockets point guard / shooting guard James Harden. In a trade that replenished much of the Rockets draft the next few years, the Nets got their man. However, drama came calling. Reportedly, Kyrie asked to take time off due to mental health, claiming the January 6th U.S. Capitol riots were forefront on his mind. What also occupied his mind, though, was the birthday party of his sister. Supposedly, Kyrie did not have contact with the organization until weeks into his sabbatical. Once he was ready to return, he had to sit out more games due to the newly adhered to rules of COVID-19 restrictions. Players had to mask up if they went out in public. Kyrie did not. But once he returned, the Nets charged forward, attempting to achieve something no other squad in their organization has ever done. The hiccups were there. Durant was in and out due to nagging injury. Harden received MVP love until he suffered nagging injuries as well. Once April rolled around, they were ready to roll, and the playoffs were in sight. And when they began in May, it all seemed to be right there for them. They breezed through the first round and were up 2-0 to the Bucks in the 2021 Eastern Conference semifinals. One injury to Kyrie in Game 3 of that series, and the tide shifted. The Bucks eventually went on to beat the Nets in 7 games and claimed that championship in 2021. It was through no fault of Durant's, as he left everything on the court. Then the 2022 season began. Durant wanted to get further than he did the previous year. Harden wanted to be of some sort of assistance, but Kyrie had a stance that he wanted to execute. New York had a mandate of anyone who was unvaccinated being banned from playing any sport. Kyrie stood his ground until the ban was lifted, but the damage was done. Durant felt like he was pulling the Nets wagon all by himself. Harden grew frustrated with being on the Nets, and allegedly it was Kyrie's stance which pushed him to want out of Brooklyn. February 10th of 2022, Harden's prayers were answered, as he and then 76ers point guard Ben Simmons switched teams, and the teams swapped problems. Slowly but surely, they made concessions for Kyrie. He was able to play most road games, and then the ban was lifted. But by then, though, the team was besieged by controversy and off-the-court issues. Issues like the team not respecting first-time head coach in the NBA, Steve Nash. Issues like the team not really getting along or gelling with Kyrie. Issues like Durant not taking more of the reins. Issues like the guy they got in exchange for James Harden didn't set foot on the floor the rest of the 2022 season. After getting swept in the first round to the eventual Eastern Conference champion Celtics, the Nets' offseason got even more chaotic. Kyrie had an option to be paid by the Nets for the 2023 season, but he demanded a trade. The team said that he could seek a partner, but the rest of the league saw his antics off the floor and decided the talent that they saw on it was not enough to gamble with their team's futures. So, he opted to stay with the Nets. Once news broke of Kyrie staying, then it was Durant's turn. He demanded to be traded. Unfortunately for him, it wasn't the fact teams viewed him as a risk. It was the team he currently is under contract asked for so much. And because of it, the demands turned organizations off. Then, at the same time in process, he received the criticism of not being a team player. Seeing the team, after his reported ultimatum of, "It's either the front office and Nash or me," didn't budge with wanting him to be a Net, the partnership is officially solid, as they issued a joint statement saying they will move forward together. And as for Simmons, he is set to be on the floor for the first time since the 2021 Eastern Conference semifinals, June 20th, 2021. When the season tips off in mid-October, will we witness the Kyrie, Durant, Simmons triumvirate blow our minds on the court? Or will they not surprise us and blow our minds off of it? With the reported demand from Kyrie saying that he wanted to not play back-to-back games and no more than 60 of them in a season, this soap opera will not surprise us and have our jaws drop to the floor once again. They will do so for all the wrong reason.